Hello, my lovely Sagittarius friends. So you guys were the winners. Of course you were, because you guys are so strong and persistent and fiery, and I love it. So you did only win by one, but sorry, it's early in the morning and I'm still processing and waking up. I've had a long weekend. I hope you guys have had a good full moon. So we had a full moon yesterday, but you would have felt it kind of creeping in, Friday, Saturday as well, and may still be feeling the effects of it. But it was a powerful Scorpio new moon, and yeah, it's been weird for me. I lost someone. It wasn't an immediate family member, but I considered him family, but he was ready to go. So been dealing with that death in my world here the last few days. So I'm sorry I didn't get this out. That's why Friday was actually when that happened. So I wasn't able to do the reading like I wanted to. We have a card popping out. Okay, so I did shuffle these really well before, but I'd always like to shuffle just to see if anything pops out while I'm actually doing the reading. So let's see for Sagittarius. Okay, so the first card that popped out, we have a Magician card. And the Magician is all about manifestation. It's all about taking something from the ether or from the sort of dreamy realm or mythical realm and bringing it into reality, into your world. So he has all the tools that he needs to do this. He carries with him actually the cups, the swords, the wands, and the pentacles. And so he has all of the elements necessary to make something manifest in his world. And so right now you might feel like you are, it could go either way. Like right now you could feel like you don't have this power and you're trying desperately to, there's something specific that you really want to manifest, some kind of dream, maybe some kind of travel, or some kind of new job opportunity or business opportunity. And you're trying to manifest it, or you already are on the path of manifesting and you're starting to see results. Because whatever we put our energy towards consciously, our thoughts, our inner conflicts, our inner dialogue, that really does make a difference in our outer world. And we don't give enough credit to that. We don't stop and really think enough about how much manifestation, we don't think about manifestation at all. A lot of times we don't think that we can do it. We don't even think that we have control or power over our lives to change the things that we want to change. So what we need to keep in mind with this card is that we do have an incredible power, and it all revolves first around our inner thoughts, our thoughts, our inner dialogue, how we speak to ourselves, and what we think is possible in the world. And if we're continuously telling ourselves that it's not possible, we can't get it done, it's not going to happen, then it won't. So we need to, some really positive ways of practicing this manifestation is during meditation to actually kind of feel the polarity between where you are now and where you want to be. So feel while you're in your head and while you're in your meditation, feel what it's like to, be what it is that you want to be. So say you want to live on a farm, then when you sit and meditate, imagine that you are on that farm, and imagine every little detail. Imagine the flower beds and the pasture or the home or whatever it is, and it's using your imagination. And we used to do this as a kid all the time, and we probably didn't realize it, but a lot of the times we were probably manifesting a lot of things for ourselves as a child. But that's because we have such a strong imagination, and we're not told that we can't do it yet. As a young kid, you have the world is your oyster, so to speak. So use those powerful creative thoughts and your imagination to manifest what it is that you're trying to manifest. And it looks like, so we have the Queen of Pentacles is the second card coming up here, and she is, she's a lovely woman. She has a lot of nurturing characteristics, a lot of nurturing qualities, and likes to be surrounded by beauty and nature. And she's the type of woman who really will build up her home with, flowers and plants and things like that to help her feel nature indoors. And if she's a mother, she's going to be a very nurturing, very caring mother. Now this pentacle, the pentacles are all about material wealth or material things, or the physical things that we manifest in our lives. And whatever this might be for you, whether it's a new job or an actual thing, it is something that you hold very dearly. I mean, she's looking at this like it's her baby. It's her baby. So there could be a new project that you're undertaking, that you're trying to undertake, and it looks really promising as far as you manifesting this for yourself. She could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or an earth sign, but it doesn't have to be. These are just qualities and characteristics. It doesn't even have to be a woman either. But this could be you in your life right now. You're really looking at the aspects of your life that you want to put your energy into. What do I want to nurture? And what do I want to put all of my energy towards, or most of my energy towards, in order to manifest? And I get a feeling that there could be children involved for some of you. The Sun card is a beautiful card. This is hailed as one of the most favored cards in the tarot deck, one of the most positive cards. It is, and it is the card of Sagittarius also. So I love this, but it is in the reverse, but even in the reverse, it's still a lovely card. It doesn't even really lessen the power of this card. So this card is all about things coming to light, and we have this rejuvenating spring happening right now, and it's been beautiful the last few days. So I feel like a lot of you are getting outside and doing a lot of things outside and gardening, and I know that is kind of common sense, but I have 3 cards here that really speak to that, and one of them is this woman watering her pentacles, her plant, and she's waiting for that divine timing. And I'll get to that a little more in a moment, but this Sun card, it's about illuminating the things that have maybe been hidden for a while. And it doesn't have to be like secrets or truth. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times this can be just parts of yourself that have been hidden away. And in the wintertime, we tend to sort of retreat into ourselves and pull back our energies, and a lot of people get depressed because they don't have enough sunshine and vitamin D and all that. So I feel like you're really blossoming out of that. You're coming out of that, and you're starting to say, okay, what is it that I'm going to do? You really want to do something different this year. I really feel that. You're so determined to take a different path this year and look back so that you can say next year at the same time, I'm not where I was last year. And I think maybe right now you're looking back at 2017, it's spring, and saying, you know what, I haven't come as far as I wanted to, and what am I doing? And you're starting to feel these cycles of time accumulating and catching up to you, and time just starts moving faster. As we get older, it moves faster. And that's because if you think about 1 year of your life, when you're, say, 4 years old, that's 1/4 of your life. But 1 year of your life when you're 60 or when you're 30 is 1/30. So time does go faster for us in our perception. So we have to always remember that, and it's a cumulative process. So it's you start feeling a sense of urgency that you haven't felt maybe ever in your life. That, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? I have to do something. And so that's where this magician is coming in and manifesting. And you're learning how to do this. And you're learning how to do this through patience and through kindness and through really paying attention to those things that make you happy, that are going to be long-term stable success for you. Because the Queen of Pentacles is a very stable individual. She could be a business owner. So I get the feeling that maybe you're thinking about becoming self-employed, or you're just thinking about making a really big career change, possibly something that is completely different than what you've done in the past. or just different in the way that you go about it. So rather than working for someone else in your career path, you decide to go out on your own, and be your own boss. So, which, it seems like you're looking for this sense of freedom, this happiness and sunshine that the maybe the conformist world, the traditional realm can't quite give you any longer. You're feeling like that's just disappointing and you can't continue down that same path any longer. You're being really pulled away from that. And again, so the Seven of Pentacles this is all about divine timing. There's, on the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Seven Pentacles are actually all on this tree, and this man is sitting there looking at his pentacles, kind of resting, and processing what it is that he has created during this length of time that he's looking upon. And so in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, that card, it shows that some of the pentacles on the tree or on the bush are ready to be plucked. Some are not ready to be plucked. They need to stay on a little longer. Some have already dropped to the ground and fallen, and you've either missed the opportunity to harvest that, and now it's sort of rotting away. It's an old opportunity. So I always remember that whenever I see this card, and not that this card doesn't do the Seven of Pentacles justice, but I feel like there is an element of divine timing. She's obviously caring for this plant, very similar. I mean, and she looks a lot like this Queen of Pentacles right here as well. So again, it could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, someone like that in your life as well. But I feel like these are qualities of Sagittarius right now, that you're taking on these nurturing qualities in order to grow what it is, this new opportunity, this new chance that you have, this new idea. And we have the dog down here again, another sleeping dog. So I feel the need to, I don't want to say something about letting sleeping dogs lie. I don't know. So maybe there's something, a sleeping dog, so to speak, in your life, in your career, something that's not really getting you anywhere. It's serving its purpose for just survival, but it's not really giving you the fulfillment that you desire in your life. And so you're looking for something that's actually going to do that. And now it's go time. You're feeling this charge, this new energy, this invigorating energy that is going to push you to a whole nother place. And this Three of Cups, so I feel like you might be working with a group. There might be 2 or 3 of you who are doing this project, this business together. This is a celebration. This is you coming together. So there could be some sort of family reunion or a wedding that you're celebrating. This card is all about celebration, but it's also about the 3. I can't ignore the 3. That the 3, it's not just a partnership of just 2 people. It's usually a partnership of like 3 people coming together and saying, hey, let's do this together. There's sort of an element of a pentacle on her back here. It's actually a triquetra. We have the watery energy down here of the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and we have the fish down here, which represents Pisces. This can be a love triangle at times. I want to mention that, but I don't want to really dwell on that too much because the rest of the reading doesn't point towards that so much. But I feel like there is some kind of new opportunity or project before you. And so if you're feeling overwhelmed and like you're not sure how to go about it, you might need to call on a couple of other people to help give some kind of infusion of energy. And so just the 3 of you, or the small few of you, can get things done better than if you were doing it and hacking away at it only as an individual. So but like I said, this also does represent celebration. So you might be coming to some kind of family reunion, or maybe even going out and hanging with your friends more, taking time for yourself. maybe drinking a little bit and cutting loose. You just want to be careful that you don't overextend that or overdo it. Um, but I see a lot of happiness here with, and like I said, you might have been so deep into this manifestation for a while now that you've been just sort of cutting yourself off from everyone else and not really taking time to go out and hang with friends and that sort of thing. And so this could be a time where you finally see that, you know, I need to cut away for a little while and break free. And in doing that, you will be given some sort of gift, which is another set of energy that you can draw from, whether it's just inspiration or it's actually someone who's coming in to your life, into your group, and helping make your dreams happen. So let me pull some more cards here for Sagittarius. Can I have a card for the Magician, please? Clarify the Magician. So with the Magician card, we have the Emperor, and this is a very powerful card. This usually signifies Aries, but it is a very fiery energy, like as you guys are. The Emperor it can represent all authority, like a father figure, or it could be the father of your kids, it could be your father, or this can just be the energy that you're carrying right now. And I kind of feel like that is actually the case. I feel like with the Magician card paired with this, because that's what's clarifying the Magician, you are in your power right now. You are locked in and honed in, and you know exactly what it is that you are striving for. And even though it's been like in the background here, you can see it's very desolate. It's just all grassland and dry, and there's no water or, you know, mountains. It's sort of just a dry, desolate area. And you're setting a blaze to that. You're saying, I'm gonna survive no matter what environment, and you're sort of setting a blaze to your past in a way, and all of the negative energy or the negative experiences that you've had. You're taking those and incorporating them into your full being, and you're assimilating them as part of yourself now, as lessons learned in life, not as things done to you. Like, you're starting to see it. Does that make sense? You're starting to see all of your experiences, the good and the bad, but especially the bad, instead of seeing them as something that affects you on a really conscious level today, you're seeing it as something that is sort of a subconscious influx of strength and power, and you're letting it give power to you as opposed to taking power from you. So I really like this card for you. I like that it feels like an incorporation of all the lessons that you've learned in difficult times, and it's a really powerful card for you for manifesting. And so you might be kind of strict on yourself right now. You might be and even around others as well. You're not going to take any bullshit. You're not going to tolerate any shit right now. So wherever there needs to be cuts, and I don't see any swords here yet, but you're going to make them. You're prepared to make the changes that you need to. I mean, this guy has his fist balled up. He's holding that scepter. He's really, really in his power right now, and very strong, seated. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So we do have a sword popping up now. So the Queen of Swords is, again, a no-nonsense character. And like I just said, it's so interesting that she pops up, because this queen, of all the queens, she has been through some shit. She could be widowed. She could be divorced. But she has seen a lot of hardship. And she doesn't let it harden her. But she does carry that sword with her everywhere she goes. She is still has the capacity to be an emotional or a soft character, but she has this sword which has been earned, not just given to her, but it's been earned, and she will wield it when she needs to cut to the truth, and she will cut out whatever nonsense and bullshit she needs to. And the Queen of Swords says, come to me. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, she has one hand out and one hand holding a sword upright, and she's sort of beckoning you forward. not necessarily to chop your head, but she will if she has to. And what she's saying is, come to me, by all means, you're welcome, but come to me with truth and don't mess around, and give me anything other than truth. So she's a very logical, very intellectual person. She has a lot of time up in her head. She spends a lot of time in her head, and she, um, she's often, it's an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini this is associated with. So she's often seen as kind of a cold queen, but not necessarily. I mean, I see this queen as, like I said, she's no nonsense. She's not going to take any shit, and she's not going to uh, withstand liars in her life or any of the bullshit that she's been through before, because she's had a lot of life experience and she has incorporated those life lessons into her being. So not unlike what I was just saying with this emperor. So you're really taking the lessons that you have learned from your previous relationships. Maybe you're a very trusting individual, and so now you're learning, like, you know what, not everybody deserves my trust, not everybody deserves to be in my circle, and I'm going to start manifesting the relationships and the life that I really want to live, absent these people who get me off of my game. So we have the tendency to want to give people multiple chances, and sometimes we need to really just pay attention to the cues and the lessons that they're giving us, and believe them the first time. And then that helps us to determine, when we determine what relationships are of value in our lives, it really does help us define our own personal value system, and that's important. And then it allows us to stand in our truth. And it might sound harsh, but not everyone necessarily deserves to be in your world, in your life, and you can't possibly extend your energy to everyone that comes on your path. I'm reminded of a study that talks about, it was actually a video that I watched about Facebook friends, and how, having too many Facebook friends it's not practical. So in these chimpanzee group studies that they've done, once the group gets past 100 individuals, and about 150 tops, then the group starts to completely suffer. All the interpersonal relationships suffer, because you can't manage that many relationships. You can't possibly be really truly hands-on involved in over 100 people's lives. So maybe it's time to cut Facebook friends, some of your Facebook friends that you don't need anymore, and you don't need to see photos of their kids and interject in every little detail of their life. That it sounds harsh, but like I said, it's just not practical. You can't really have meaningful relationships with that many people. We will be lucky if we find one really solid friend in our lives to carry with us through the course of our lives. And so we want to strive for quality, not quantity. And I think this day and age, we have had a major shift to quantity, whether we're talking about cars or friends or whatever it is. It is the quality of our lives. It's the quality of our relationships that matter. And so we need to understand that sometimes we're going to have to make cuts. We're just going to have to. And you have the power to do this. This is a good time for you to do this, because you're really strong and you're in your power. So make the cuts that you have to do now. Don't put it off. Take this energy. Maybe this Scorpio full moon energy is really giving you a lot of power to do this, to manifest certain things in your life. So set your intentions and be careful. Watch your thoughts. Really watch your thoughts, because your thoughts are becoming reality right now. So if there was ever a time to sit and meditate and really take the time to do you and to take time for yourself, this is the time. This is the time. It does not hurt to, say, forget laundry, forget dishes, or whatever it is that you have to do. Even your kids, if you have kids, let that stuff, fall to the wayside for a little while, and go in your happy place and go meditate for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a couple of times a day. Do what you can. Go for a walk, get outside, and take time for yourself. So 2 cards just popped out for the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Star and the Two of Pentacles. So the Star card is also an Aquarius, and like I said, the Queen of Swords, I know it's because I'm Aquarius, so I come up as a Queen of Swords often, and the Star card pops out for me. So the Star card, though, is a card of healing, and so it's a beautiful card. It is really a magical card. But I'm interested in the fact that we have 2 here and we have 2 here. So the 2s are often telling us that we might be juggling something. We might be juggling 2 things, 2 people. Maybe there's 2 suitors that you have in your life that you're trying to make a decision about. There could be 2 different career paths that you're trying to decide. Maybe you're with someone already. You're just trying to decide, do I continue down this path and giving my energy to my significant other, or do I cut my losses and move on and take a new route? I feel like if that's the case, it's going to be an amicable departure. It's not going to be this huge, lengthy fight, or it's just going to be you standing your ground and you just expressing yourself in the most loving, caring way that you possibly can with someone that you've shared a lot of your life with. Excuse me. I'm still drinking my morning coffee here. So, you have a lot of healing capacity right now. So this power is also tempered and balanced with you having to go into your past in order to heal. So the Star card, it reminds us that our past, again, doesn't define us in a certain way, but it also does define us. It's that paradox that you aren't what has happened to you, like a victim would be, but you are the culmination of all the things that have happened to you through experiences, because you have lived it and you have learned from it. But that only applies if you learned from it. So you have to learn from the lessons. You have to learn from the experiences. If you just carry the experiences as experiences that happen to you, then that is more of the victim kind of mindset. Once we start incorporating the lessons into our actual being, that is when we actually grow stronger from those experiences, and that's what needs to happen here. So I see a lot of healing here. Maybe you feel the need to be outside, especially at night, and really appreciate the stars. And water is very important for you right now as well. It has a healing quality. So if you can sit around a lake or a pond or whatever and meditate, that would be really great, or an ocean. So this guy here is balancing 2 pentacles. So again, I see that with the Queen of Pentacles, there's something that you really want to nurture, but right now you're still in this balancing act that I don't think you want to be in. And you're about to drop one of these guys, I think. You're about to drop one and choose the other one to put your energy solely into. And like I said, this could be a job or a relationship, but I do feel like it's more of a job project type of a situation, just because of the Queen of Pentacles, but it doesn't have to be. And there's a balancing of the masculine and feminine with this card as well. He has a yin yang on his hat. And so you might be trying to, and then this Emperor card is a very masculine card as well. So, but this is a very feminine card. So I feel like there's a lot of difficulty in trying to figure out what is my role, what am I exactly, striving for here. And so you have these dualities battling one another, so to speak. The masculine and feminine these days is very difficult to put our finger on, because there's so much gender confusion and just confusion in general about what is masculine, what is feminine. And it's an underlying sort of argument. There's not a lot of people really discussing it, but I feel like it's the underpinning to a lot of our problems in society today, is that we're very confused as to what our place is in society. And um, this can be a tricky discussion because the feminine and masculine are not related to your to the physical feminine masculine, as in woman and man, although they do manifest themselves in those ways, but they are mostly an internal conceptual characteristic which puts us in touch with our right brain or our left brain, more so. And in our society, our left brain is utilized or called upon more so than our right brain. And the left brain would be the masculine, the right brain would be the feminine. And the right brain holds that creative, imaginative processes. And we seem to ignore that and repress that more in favor of the left brain, because that's what gets the job done. That's what gets the paperwork done and filed. And the left brain is very logical and how do I want to say? It can be number oriented. It's everything logical, and everything has its placeholder. And whereas the right side of the brain is, like I said, the more creative side and the more loose and forgiving. And we need a combination of both. We really do. We want to strive for holistic thinking, which is the left and the right brain together. And I do painting classes and painting parties, and that's one of the things that I find so interesting, is that, on the weekends is really the only time that most people get to cut away from that left brain aspect, whether it's because their kids are in school or they're at work, they have an office job or something like that that requires them to be in their left brain. So when we paint, it does take some logic and some planning that the left brain can help us with, but then at some point it has to shift into the right brain creative, free-flowing side as well. And it's a beautiful thing to watch people get into that side of their brain. It really is. It's very freeing, and nature can help you do it as well. And so that's why I keep mentioning that, maybe being out in nature and being outside as much as you can next to water is very helpful for you to get into that right brain creative place. So so again, you're balancing something. I think you're going to drop something. You probably need to. It might have been a long time coming, where you've been balancing this and you just don't want to balance it anymore. It's too much. You want to really find that one path that's going to make you happy. And then we have this dog here as well. That's interesting. We have 3 dogs here. So the Sun card, you could be having, the Sun card is clarified by the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is about, it's an air related card, air sign related. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's about being in your head. It's about being logical. It's also about cutting to new truths. This is truth coming out. This is truth. So either you're being asked to stand in your truth just in yourself, or there could be some truth coming to light. I mean, with these 2 cards together, that could very well be the case, that maybe there's some information that you don't have yet. Not necessarily a secret, because I don't really see that. But there could be just some information that hasn't come to you yet, come to light, and it's about to spring forth, and then you'll be able to make a better decision based on that. This card can also be about communication, and so you're cutting through bullshit, cutting through to the truth of a matter, and you're gonna get it nailed down. You're gonna figure it out. You're going to have some sort of communication that helps clarify your position. And again, this could be revolving around children. And this truth that comes out in this time period, so we have the 4 of Swords here, and the 4 of Swords is about taking some time to yourself, quiet time. This is going to be you retreating into your own quiet space. So maybe after you have had a chance to reunite with some of these people, like I said, in a celebration, you pull back your energy and realize that, okay, now it's go time. It's time to do more meditation, do more inner work. And so you might find yourself resting more, recuperating. There could be, it could be an illness, or there could be some sort of surgery or something that you've had cut out of you because of these swords popping up here, and it forces you to take a break. It forces you into um, this sort of mental retreat that you don't necessarily want to be in, but you need it. It's okay to take a break sometimes. It's okay to rest. So I think you have a lot of changes going on and a lot of things to assimilate. And this Four of Swords is a time where you're going to get to have that quiet contemplation. I don't know if you're going on a vacation or some kind of, maybe meditative retreat, or a place where you're going to be able to meditate a lot, maybe near the ocean or some other body of water, but it will do you good. It will do you good to have a timeout, basically. This is a timeout. This is rest away from what it is that is troubling you, and it's necessary once in a while to just sort of reevaluate where we are going and what we're doing and where we've been. You might be going on, like I said, some kind of journey or trip. We have the Six of Swords here, which indicates travel, usually by water or some kind of boat, but not necessarily. It can also be a metaphor for you moving away from something that you once were involved in. So this can actually be a physical move to a new house as well. It could be a new home. And with the Seven of Pentacles, because these are clarifying these cards here, these last two, it could be this new thing that you're nurturing. You're now seeing the divine timing. You're taking your timing when it comes up, and then this Nine of Pentacles is a lot of times seen as the singles card, because she is alone, she's in her garden, but she's surrounded by beauty, and she's very comfortable in her surroundings. She's got these high garden walls, and inside of those walls is she's surrounded herself with a lot of beauty and nature. There is sort of a catch, or a little bit of a what do I want to say? Something eluding us in this card. So her face, for one, is very contemplative, and she doesn't really look that happy. So in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, she does look happy, and she has a lot of these robes on. It's like a rich woman in a garden, and she's just so happy with her surroundings. But there's this element of unhappiness, or the possibility of unhappiness, just because she has all these material things, but it's not really what makes her happy. It's not really what she wants. She wants a partnership, or she wants some kind of infusion of some other sort of energy. And this little squirrel that she has next to her, he's got a bag over his head, so he's like entrapped. This card has this element built into it of the things that you own wind up owning you. So if you have been working for a really long time on building up your surroundings, buying the perfect home, buying the perfect car, getting, doing interior decorating, at some point you have to look around and say, what I have is fine. What I have is just fine. I don't need any more. And honestly, having, this painting on the wall, or that car sitting in the driveway, that does not equal my happiness. That is not what life is about. And so this person here has to really reevaluate what it is that makes her happy. She's done all the things, followed the American dream, so to speak, or whatever it is, and done the things that she's been told make you successful or make you happy. But yet here she is, and she still has, either she has no one to share it with, or those things are actually not fulfilling her. They're just not, because it's not personal relationships. So there needs to be some sort of freedom from a type of material wealth or a material gain that you haven't had in a while. So maybe that's the thing that you need to drop when we're talking about this juggling. There's your personal relationships, and then there's your business, your work, and the things that give you all this wealth and all of this stuff here, but that's not necessarily making you happy. So it's time to reevaluate where you put your energy. Do you want to put more of your energy into work and career and money, and then possibly miss out on some of these other things in life, like friends and family and celebration? Or do you want to start balancing and finding a more of a balance with your career and your relationships or your love life or, you know, your family life. Now, with this card right here, it's also a calling to like a spiritual journey. You are about to sacrifice something as well. And like she has this box here, she's ready to sacrifice this box for a spiritual enlightenment. And this guy right here, this would be the hermit, and he's taking you on a journey deep within. He's taking you through the waters of consciousness. And some of that can be scary. The watery realm of our consciousness, of our minds. It's our deep subconscious that we're tapping into. And we're finding, again, in that process, we're finding healing. We're going through all these experiences that we've had that have been painful and have hurt us, and maybe even hardened us in some way. But we are taking the opportunity to now manifest something very special for ourselves. And this is, like I said, this is going to be a spiritual journey that you're going on. This is going to lift you into a new level of spirituality that you haven't been. Even if you're not really religious, you're going to find a niche in your spiritual awareness and your appreciation for spirit. So I'm going to pull just one more card on that Six of Swords. Okay, and so here we have the Chariot, and it did come up in the reverse. So the Chariot is usually associated with Cancer, but you know what's cool is this is you right here. This is Sagittarius pulling the Chariot behind. So there could be someone in your life, maybe a Cancer, that you feel like you're dragging along on this journey. You're trying to desperately to go on this journey, and you want to take others with you, but you are charging ahead, because Sagittarius is fire energy. It's ready to go. It's you know, it's blazing the trail, so to speak. And you're ready to go, and this other person may not be ready, and you feel like they're holding you up, or something is dragging you down, or something is holding you back, and that you have to pull this carriage along. And it could be through like your spiritual journey. Maybe you have a disagreement in a move, or some kind of travel with like a significant other, or you know, someone in your personal space, your relationship. So the Chariot is about being both of these cards are about a move. I really feel like there could be you're being presented with the opportunity to move, and it could be a long distance, not just, you know, moving from one end of town to another, or from one small town to another within, you know, a reasonable distance. This could be a very big move for you. And the Chariot reminds us that we are in control. We are in control of our destiny, and the fact that it's in the reverse, that it came up in the reverse, tells me maybe you're not feeling in control. And like I said, that you're dragging someone along, but it's not really with any results, and you're not getting the results that you want. So you're trying to find that balance. You're trying to find that courage and that strength to just take the wheel. And it might involve having to cut some people out, or stop. You might just be you're not going to be thinking about someone else. You have to think about yourself in this moment. You have to think about what it is that's going to make you happy as an individual. And for at least a short period of time while you're contemplating this, you have to cut others out of the equation in order to come to the conclusion that you need to come to. Because when you have so many other variables, and you have, well, what will it mean to this person or that person? Even with children, sometimes you have to cut out all of that. And what would I do if it were just me? If it were just me, what would I choose for myself? And that sounds selfish, but selfishness is not a terrible thing, because like on an airplane, you have to put on your mask before you can help someone else put on their mask. So it's not unreasonable to put yourself first. You are first in your life. This is the only life you get. So even if we're talking kids, even if we're talking a significant other, there needs to be some element of selfishness in your decision making and in your thought process. There does have to be. And then once you get that decided, what is it that's going to make me personally happy? Then you can start incorporating the other people into your life, and how can we make this fit with this person, or will it need to be without this person? Will I need to unhitch this wagon on the back, so that I can cut loose that energy and drop it, so that I only have me to worry about, and I'm not dragging someone along with me, and I'm not juggling anymore. I am just focusing on this one thing that makes me truly happy. So that is the reading that I have for you, Sagittarius, and I hope that helps. And blessings to you. I hope you get out and enjoy this beautiful weather that we're having in whatever part of the world you're in. I'm in the Midwest, so hopefully my local Sagittarius are getting out and enjoying the weather. And if you want a personal reading from me, just holler, and I'll try to get that done for you. This is going to be kind of a long week for me. Like I said early in the reading, I have some things to tend to this week, but I will get it done just as soon as I possibly can for you. Okay? Thanks, guys. I appreciate your support.